Peace, family. Yesterday, I believe it was some UFC fight at the White House, and after the match, one of the fighters stood up in the middle of the ring, grabbed the microphone, held it up to his mouth, and stated that Michelle Obama is a man. Ain't that right, America? You know, this is one of the many reasons why I believe in segregation. Because, see, white people are fixated on blacks. Now, here you are at the first annual event of a fight of this magnitude in Washington, D.C. You in the shadows of the White House. You got thousands of people in attendance. You got Dana White, the founder, present. And as opposed to thinking about what this event could grow into over the next 5, 10, 20 years from now, you want to bring up some nonsensical story that's never been proven. No evidence, anything has ever pointed to Michelle Obama being anything to what she is, an elegant, beautiful black woman. You want to salty and stain that whole event by stating something like that. You know. But see, the thing is this. If black people were the inferior race that white people have always claimed that we are, why is it 500 years later we are still the center of your world? Everything that you do, everything that you aspire to be, you want to have black people right there next to you. Here you are at this UFC fight. You got everything in your favor, and you still bringing up black people. But the fact of the matter is, I don't care what white people want to be, what they aspire to be. If they can't be better or as good as black people, it's nothing to them. They will fight and argue. They have got to be as good as the most inferior race of people. If they truly believe that, they have ever met in the world. If they want to be accepted in society, if they want to be proven to be cool, if they want to be proven to be relevant, they have got to act and mimic black people. And see, if we took our most accomplished, our most gifted people, and challenged them to be the best at whatever it is they want to be, we could challenge the world. We could challenge the world. But for white people, we are their world. This would not be the case if what they really said, they really believed that. But see, if it's 500 years, after 500 years of white dominance, you'd have enslaved black people for 300 years, you'd have been ruled over for another 200 something years. If black people are the inferior people that you said that we were, why is it still an issue today? Because to me, I believe that you're trying to convince yourself of this. But let me say this. I believe in segregation. I don't believe in this good white man. And I believe we could be much further along as a people if we just gather those that's in agreement with what I believe and move forward. I'm not taking my time to try to pick out a good white person out of this barrel when we can accomplish so much more. Because I am a visionary. I do have a vision. I have a purpose for my people, and I'm not going to waste time trying to stop and pick through this assortment of white people to pull out a good one here or there, because it's like a barrel of apples. You put one rotten apple in that barrel and it'll contaminate the whole lot of them. If I put all white people in the barrel and you want to stop and take your time to try to sort through the bad ones just to get to the good ones, as opposed to just saying, forget it, whatever's in there, if it's not rotten by now, it's going to be rotten because it's surrounded by rotten apples. and let's go on to greener pastures. White people are just like that. Even if you do happen to find some good apples amongst the midst of bad ones, and you put them in your bag and you go on try to catch up with everybody else, and then when you get hungry or thirsty and want to bite into a juicy apple, and you reach into that bag and you turn around and look, and it's just as rotten as the ones you have in that barrel. The reason why is because these rotten apples will contaminate the good apples. And white people are the same way. You dig through these white people to try to find a good white person and bring him along with you, and by the time you catch up with the rest of us, he'll be just as corrupt as the one that was in. You'd be better off just leaving him behind. Because see, I believe that white people are the anti-humans. They're not humans. They're lichens. They look like humans, but they're not. And how do I prove that? If you took a lesson and you taught it to each nation of people, you will get some similar results, because these are the same lessons that everybody else have been taught, and I believe should be consistent to everybody else. But white people, when you look at white people, they taught themselves that God looked like them, that they were the image of God. Jesus looked like them. They've had presidents, they've had business industries, economic millionaires and billionaires, all in the vision of white people. Power and authority, the courts, the politics, the businesses, the banks, every important institution has always had white people present there. Tell me something. When white people seen this over the hundreds and hundreds of years, when have white people ever elevated their quality of life, their standard of living, their protocol, how they address and how they be, their politeness? When have white people ever took this concept and they took it and made better white people out of it? If you taught every nationality of people that the God they believed in, the system of government that they vote for, the industries, all were representative of themselves, every last one of them will elevate themselves and be consistent with a code of ethics and behaviors that'll make committing crimes and saying statements like this, just being rude, obnoxious, mean, and cruel and vicious, it'll be beneath them. White people are the only race of people on the planet that could believe that they look like God. You got all the power and authority, and you still the worst behaved people on the planet. You ain't never thought that being cruel and vicious and was beneath you. You want further proof? When they enslaved our people years ago, hundreds of years ago, they sodomized men, women, and children. They used black children as alligator bait. They cut the breasts off of women and made tobacco pouches out of them. They made coats and purses and wallets out of the black skins of black people. But no major discernment from white people. Nobody rejected it. And now today you have a white president of the United States, Donald Trump, who has been documented in FBI records of being a pedophile. So 500 something years ago, when you was sodomizing men, women, and children, you got Donald Trump sit up in the White House, documented records of him sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl. And you white people still embrace this. You know what? Oh, I'm in this video here. And as always, these are my thoughts, my opinions. I invite you to leave yours in the comments. And I'll see you in my next video. Ashe.